Balancing work and study is a challenge. Believe me, I know. Like others, I work full time and studying a business degree at university. Plus, I'm always trying to maximize family time as a husband and father of two young children. Hi, I'm William. It's nice to meet you. In this video, I'm going to share my views on why I think learning a new skill is important and why I chose to go back to study as a mature age student. Then I'm going to give you my top 10 tips to maximize your study time. Now, let me tell you how I got here. My wife has always encouraged me to pursue academic studies. I always seem to find an excuse why not to take up studies with side hustles and other personal projects, such as learning how to create iOS apps back in the day, pitching to venture capitalists my crazy startup ideas, and even renovating 3 homes. I'll go into that in more detail in another video. When my employer started sending me to short leadership courses and then finally promoting me to a senior leadership role in my team, that I actually considered that I might need to level up my educational credentials. So I did. I enrolled as a mature age student with the University of Tasmania. I'm over 3 years into a business degree specializing in maritime logistics management. The process of studying has opened so many doors for me. It has changed my mindset and has even encouraged me to pursue opportunities that I'd never thought possible before. It has really taught me how to manage my time and resources, and that's why I thought I would share my top 10 tips to optimize your study time. The first thing you'll have to do is get prepared, and by that you'll need a productive place to study. Now, everyone's got a home that they live in, and there's going to be some places that you can find to set up for your study area. A desk, a kitchen table, or even a comfy couch. When I get bored of studying at home or I need a break, there's always an option that you might consider, like going to a coffee shop. Bear in mind that you'll have to buy a few coffees to stay there, otherwise they will ask you to leave. I also like to go to my local library. At my local library, there are study rooms available to book. These are fantastic because they have some multimedia facilities like a TV, and you can actually hook in to the internet there, which is great. And it's just fantastic because it is a place where you can just knuckle down and just knock out a few hours of study there. Finally, you might try working or studying from your workplace. And I've done that many times before, especially after hours when it's a little bit too noisy or it's just too hectic at home and you need a clear place to study. So I'd highly recommend finding a place maybe after hours or on the weekends at your workplace. Next thing you'll need to do is know the course criteria. In my course, the course facilitators will generally send a document which will have the learnings and the modules that we'll be studying through the course of the semester. It'll also outline the key dates that we need to hit, and also it'll mention what the value of each assignment or essay or quiz is worth. In my course, they generally start with something like a quiz or some sort of introductory assessment, and then they will go into a second assessment, which is a little bit deeper, usually an essay, and then a third assessment. It could be a case study or report, depending on what subject we're doing. And then for me, at the end of the semester, there's usually a distance exam, and it's worth quite a lot of marks. So it's important for you to understand this document and when are the key dates. Following from that, you'll need to set some times to study. For me, being a shift worker, I follow a roster. So I'll know ahead of time which days are available to study. I'll look at the course outline, which has the dates. I'll put those dates into my iPhone and then set a reminder at least 1 week before it's due. A lot of institutions allow for extensions due to unforeseen circumstances like illness or other work commitments. So it's important that you set your alarm at least 1 week before it's due. That will give you time to contact your course facilitator and request an extension if that's required. Sometimes I'll even set a reminder 2 days beforehand just to give me a reminder that it's due, and that'll just hurry me along. The next thing is you've got to get the right gear. This is my favorite bit. You'll start with a computer, some sort of desktop or notepad, maybe a tablet. Then you'll need to get some internet access, which you can probably do from a mobile hotspot or Wi-Fi access. Next, you'll need some headphones with a microphone because you'll be able to listen to lectures and even communicate with your classmates during online tutorials. And how can you forget the trusty pen and paper? Doesn't require electricity. You can scribble down things quickly, and providing you've got neat handwriting, which I do not, you can recall some important information a little bit later. Next, you'll need somewhere to store your information. You can set up a special area on your computer, but what I recommend is having some sort of file which is connected to a cloud drive. There are many good cloud options like Dropbox, but for me personally, I use my own personal Gmail account, and that has about 15 gigabytes of storage, give or take, and you can always pay to increase that a little bit later on when you max out your storage. My university actually offers cloud storage, but I've opted not to use theirs because they are prone to hacking. And also, if I ever leave that institution, I've got access to my own free account anyway. So it's just more convenient for me to have access to my files on my own personal drive. In your storage drive, I'd recommend setting up some folders where you can find your information quickly and easily. Generally, I start with a folder with the subject, and I might have modules, and I might even have a folder for receipts because we generally buy textbooks. So it's always great to just save that in that folder there so you can find it later on when you're doing your taxes. The next tip is regarding textbooks. I highly recommend that you actually buy your textbooks online and delivered in an electronic format. Formats might include PDF, so you might purchase a PDF version of the textbook, or it might be a subscription to a service where that textbook is hosted online. Generally, they will give you access for many, many years. So more than you'll actually be studying that topic for. The reason I recommend getting electronic format is because when you're studying, you might come across an interesting quote, which you can use as a citation during an essay or a quiz. What I generally do is if I find something interesting, I'll copy the quote, paste it into a Word document, and then I'll save the page number and the book that I found it in. Then when you're doing your exam or your essay or your quiz, you can actually do a keyword search. It's really, really, really helpful. Hey, thanks for watching the video so far. I really do hope you're getting some sort of value from this video. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you like to just stay up to date with what I'm doing, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon because it'll notify you when I've got another video ready to go. Okay, let's get back to the content. My next tip is to create a glossary of terms. So any terms or phrases that you haven't come across before that you think might be important, keep it in a list format and then have the word and its explanation. This is fantastic because, again, when you're doing an essay, an exam, or a quiz, you can do a quick keyword search and you'll have that explanation ready to go. That's really a hack that I use quite often, and it helps to improve my vocabulary in that subject. The next tip involves watching videos. What I like to do is, if it's available, I like to increase the speed of the videos so I get through those videos a lot quicker. Sometimes I'll bump it up to 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed depending on how long the lecture is and how much time I've got to study. The benefit of this is you can cut out a lot of the silences. There's some dialogue between the lecturer and the in-class students, which probably aren't that necessary for your learning. And also, it just cuts down time. It's just convenient. Are you still with me? That's great, because my last tip involves managing your rest breaks. It's important to take regular breaks, because if you don't, some of the information that is important may be missed. I recommend taking a break every 1 or 2 hours, getting up, moving away from your workspace, doing something that you like. Maybe go for a walk with friends, family, take your pet for a walk, or just do something that you like. Maybe watch a film or some sport. This can be a circuit breaker, and it just helps you just retain more information for longer periods. Have I missed anything out? If I have, or perhaps you've got some great ideas of your own, feel free to just leave your comments below so everyone can benefit from your idea. Congratulations on taking the first step to study, or perhaps continuing the study. I hope these tips have helped you to optimize your study time. For me personally, study has broadened my horizons. It's pushed me to do things that I never thought I'd be able to do, and even career-wise, I've gone in a totally different direction just because I started studying. Look out for my next video, because study has actually helped me to foster my entrepreneurial spirit and help me to start a new business venture. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.